afternoon, everybody, and welcome to race number 31, chase race number 5 of Season 5 of the Mobil1 Cup Series. We are here at Atlanta Motor Speedway for the running of the A&W 400. Getting ready to see just exactly what's going to happen here. This is going to be basically, I guess you could say, the halfway mark of our chase for the championship. It's kind of the make or break time now. From here on in, drivers have to really keep the consistent finishes up in order to be contending for the championship here in Season 5. On the pole for this race is going to be Dylan Poteet in the 22. Nice qualifying spot for him as he tries to pick up his second win of the season. Alongside of him, Mark Thomas, 18th in points. Great qualifying run for him. Mark Thomas also had a pretty good run, as I recall, back at Supercell, and he might have had a good run in New Hampshire too, as I recall. Don't know if I'm getting that quite right. It has been a while since races have come out here, so I'm trying to get back into the swing of things here. Starting off in row number 2, that's going to be Dylan Young, our winner from Indianapolis. Dylan Young currently sits, well, he's way down in the points regardless of his win at Indianapolis. He's currently 34th in points, but still trying to go in for wins here, pick up his second of the season. Alongside of him, Jacob Lawler, a driver who nearly picked up a win with a good qualifying position. I believe that was back at Supercell, but wasn't able to capitalize. He's got another good qualifying spot today in 4th place. Trying to look to see where our first chaser is, and we don't have to look too far. Starting off in the 5th position is Waidos Avotas, who amazingly enough is still looking for his first win of the season in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Next chaser is starting right directly behind him. In the 7th position, that's Eric Burton, who actually comes into this race a total of 13 points behind Ralph Mason for the chase points lead, so good qualifying spot for him. Then you go back one row right directly behind him. That's where you find Sean Galligan, another driver in the chase, but still looking for his first win of the season. He currently is 4th in the points, a total of 31 points out of the top spot. And then right behind him, starting in, I believe that's going to be the 11th position, is James Silverfox. He's yet another driver in this field who's still looking for his first win of the season. 7th in points, a total of 51 points out of the top spot. It's kind of getting desperate for some drivers, including Nicole Williams, Joseph Bryant, and especially Austin Ogo. Ogo in his first chase of the season, and right now already 5 races, we'll make it now 4 races before we have even taken this green flag. He is a total of 100 points even out of the top spot. That is not where you want to find yourself, especially only midway through the chase for the championship. Top 5 in the points as they come in today. Ralph Mason, as we mentioned, is the points leader, 13 points over Eric Burton. Then it's a total of 27 points back to 3-time winner Kyle Sosnowski. You see his neon green car back there mid-pack for the start of this race. Sean Galligan comes in 4th in points, a total of 31 points out of the top spot. And then 35 points out of the top spot is Adam Chambers. He is 5th in the standings. You can see him there just barely on the top of your screen there in that orange Reese's Chevy Camaro. Time to get these cars rolling off. They're going to complete a couple pace laps. While they do that, we will show you the starting grid for today's race, and then we will bring them back for the green flag and see just exactly what's going to happen here. Chasers definitely going to be trying to make their moves here as we're midway through, trying to prepare themselves for the final 5 races of the season before the season finale at Zenjoltas. Here's your starting lineup for today's race at the high-speed track of Atlanta. Filing out of turn 3 into turn 4 to get ready to come down to the D-shaped front straightaway. Let's see what they're going to be able to do here today. For 33 laps of racing, Dylan Poteet, Mark Thomas, it's an all Ford Mustang front row as the green flag is out and we're underway here at Atlanta. Hayden Klein surprised a lot of people with his Truck Series win here yesterday. Let's see what's going to be the case here today. Also going to be interesting to see which line is going to be the preferred line here today. Poteet Looks like he will maybe take the lead, but Dylan Young's going to step out of line 3 wide. Mark Thomas hanging tough on the high side. Let's see what's going to happen here as they head into turn 3. Looks like Poteet may have cleared Mark Thomas, so that inside line appears to be the fast way around this racetrack, at least heading into the corners. Maybe off the corners, the cars can get a little bit of a run. And I'll tell you what, it's going to be a hornet's nest back here. We talked about White Sabota, Sean Galligan, Eric Burton, James Silverfox, all starting one behind the other. You can bet those chasers are going to rough it up here. And already they're going to go looking for the lead as Dylan Young didn't stay out in front too long. That's going to put White Sabota to the front, but now here comes Eric Burton down to the inside. Eric Burton in the 29, a two-time winner this season. I believe his last win ended up coming at the road course of Infineon. Now here comes Sean Galligan, here comes James Silverfox. The chaser's going to split it 3 wide for the lead. And it's going to be Silverfox on the inside line going to the top spot. Jake Rogers right behind him. Then you got Michael Norman there in the 3. Jordan Davis there in the 28. And here comes Jake Rogers down to the bottom. And oh boy, there we go. They're starting to get 3 wide back here, several rows deep. That's when trouble starts to break out. As Michael Norman's going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll take the top spot now. Right behind him, that's Wolfgang Mason. We're trying to find the other Mason, Ralph Mason, who comes in as the points leader. Don't know where he is exactly. I think he's still at the tail end of this big pack of cars. As Michael Norman's going to continue to lead the way here now. Right behind him is Wolfgang Mason. Right behind him is Leia Walker in the 15. And here comes some more chasers up the inside line. Trent Dunham right behind him, Adam Chambers, and I see Tryphon Reed not too far back there too in the 12. You know that his teammate Dylan Poteet had a good car as far as being able to get himself qualified on the pole. Tryphon Reed started mid-pack, and now he's starting to work his way up here, and Michael Norman's doing a pretty good job of mirror driving. I think out of every driver so far today, he's the only one that stayed out in front as long as he has. Everybody else has pretty much been losing the lead and everything. And now maybe Michael Norman's going to be next, because here comes Leia Walker down to the bottom. Adam Chambers right behind here, and I'm really surprised the way these guys have been racing. They've been racing pretty doggone hard, and we have not had a caution come out. Another thing about this Atlanta track that is very unusual is that these guys, they are not really aware of when the green flag is still out or not. If you look along the sides here, the lights are not on. There's no green lights. There's just no lights at all. That's the indication that we're still green. It's only when those lights come on with yellow that we know we're under the caution flag. So it's kind of throwing these drivers for a loop, I would think, not being able to look over and see a green light indicating that they are still green flag racing. So they have to rely on their spotter to let them know as quickly as possible whether or not that caution flag has come out. Adam Chambers out in front, 5th in points, 2-time winner this season. And Adam Chambers not only trying to pick up a championship here in the Mobil1 Cup Series, but get himself some good experience to go for his 2nd career Snickers Cup Series victory. And here comes Jordan Davis down to the bottom there in the 28. Good run for him. Jordan Davis, who, my memory's failing me right now as to what the racetrack was. He just picked up a win not too long ago in the Mobil1 Cup Series, and I don't have my list here with me, so I can't let you know where it was. But Davis is 14th in the point standings right now as Mark Thomas goes back to his inside. Leia Walker now leading. Here comes Danny Wells in the 54. Danny Wells, a 2-time winner this season in the Mobil1 Cup Series, and now working his way up here to the front in that 54. Justin Williams right behind him has been oh so close on picking up a victory on several occasions, just hasn't been able to do it. He's 20th in points. And there's John McNamara right behind him too. McNamara 32nd in points, but he, just like Justin Williams, has been really close on several occasions on being able to pick up that victory. Just has not been able to close the deal. There is the points leader, Ralph Mason. He is finally making an appearance up here inside the top 10. There he is. Currently in the 9th position is Ralph Mason. Good news for him right now is Eric Burton has slipped back to the back of this pack. So this is going to allow Ralph Mason, at least at this point, to have the points lead by a pretty sizable margin. He came in with a 13-point advantage over Eric Burton. Ralph Mason, of course, would love to be able to win here at Atlanta and continue to build on his points lead. And I also thought I saw Austin Ogo back there. We talked about how he's 100 points back already from the points leader, Ralph Mason. He's currently running in the 13th position. Pretty good run here today for him. A few drivers we haven't talked about yet that are actually in the chase. One driver was actually starting all the way back in the 41st position, I believe, Joseph Bryant. And he's currently running mid-pack in the 25th position right now alongside of this race's pole sitter, Dylan Poteet. Jordan Davis is slipped back here as well. Oh man, Joseph Bryant and Adam Chambers make contact. They're still bouncing off each other. And how Chambers held on to that, I'm not sure. What a save by Adam Chambers. And oh, there goes Drew Austin around right into Trent Dunham. Bryant is involved and they're piling in. Jordan Davis, Tryphon Reed. Davis is flipping. Henley has got a piece of it. Kyle Sosnowski may have been in it. There's the Charles Jackson machine also involved. As drivers are making pit stops here. Oh, Felix Graves has got damage on the front of his 14. Drew Austin got spun around. And are these guys actually coming down pit road? I think pit road's closed. How are they able to come down and pit? Well, that's what they're doing. McNamara actually took the lead there at that point. All these other guys here, they're completing their service. They should stay on the tail end of the lead lap. That was a pretty lucky break for them, pretty lucky caution. But McNamara is the current leader. Let's take and watch the pit stops here, see what's going to go on, see if McNamara's team can get him out first. I do believe that these are the leaders. I think those other drivers that got out ahead of them, they're going to be restarted at the tail end of the longest line, including Adam Chambers and Eric Burton. Two drivers came in doing really well in the points. As McNamara is going to get right side, see if they're going to go around to the left. Yes, they are. 4-tire stop for him. There's Silver Fox, Dylan Poteet there on pit road. Danny Wells completes his service. He's trying to get out ahead of John McNamara. It's going to be close, and he does indeed. Danny Wells, very fast pit stop, gets him out ahead of McNamara. Then it's going to be Rohit Vidar, Jake Rogers, and I believe Ralph Mason gets out in 5th. So the caution flag is out for the first time today. Looks like this may have been a result of drivers slowing down to make green flag pit stops, and Drew Austin was the driver who got turned around. Let's take a look at a replay. Well, here's a look at what happened. Looks like they were almost 4 wide coming off of turn number 4. And we know that several drivers were jumping on to pit road at this point. One of them right there, Austin Ogo. You see Nicole Williams had to actually move up in order to avoid running into the back of the 18. I think she's going to make some contact with James McLeod. McLeod's going to get into Drew Austin, and then there's just nothing they can do. So I think they would have been able to save it if they were 4 wide there and that other car of Ogo wasn't there. But take a look here. Watch right here. Drew Austin can come up. Trent Dunham just gets clipped. He's going to scrape the wall there. That car is going to go up, get with the right front as well. There's Joseph Bryant. Nowhere for him to go. This could take him out of the chase completely now. Look at Dylan Young. What a miss right there. Splitting the hairs. Tryphon Reed gets a piece of it, though, right in front of James Silverfox, who's able to get through. Look at everybody avoid Trent Dunham. That was a great save by Trent to avoid everybody and have everybody avoid him. And there's Jordan Davis, our winner last week from New Hampshire. Nowhere for him to go. Chris Kyle gets a little piece of it there, and then watch the 12 car come sliding back up the track and right in front of the Viagra Chevy Camaro of Sean Henley. Absolutely nowhere for him to go. Charles Jackson back there as well. I believe he may have been the car that jacked up Jordan Davis's machine. And you can see behind Drew Austin there, that orange car of Felix Graves involved there too. Look at Luke Martin in the Florida Lottery Toyota just barely getting through there. So we had about 8 or 9 drivers get involved in this incident. A number of drivers, though, did a good job getting through, but we're going to do a few onboards with some of the chasers that were involved in this wreck. Riding on board with Joseph Bryant. Let's see what he saw. Just not enough time to react, and there you see Tryphon Reed run into the side of him. And Bryant's able to continue on, but well, he had absolutely nowhere to go. On board now with Tryphon Reed right behind his teammate Dylan Poteet. Boy, Tryphon dedicated himself down there to that inside line. Unfortunately, just closed up when Bryant came down in front of him. And now on board with Trent Dunham. He nearly got through that wreck completely, but a great job by everybody to avoid him as he spun across the start finish line, amazingly enough, in the 14th position. So I don't know if that's where he's going to restart, but Trent may have just nearly dodged a bullet. We get ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be on lap 17 of 33. That should give us a total of 17 to go here today. Danny Wells was first off pit road, and he'll restart as the leader. Second place will be John McNamara with Rohit Vidaravu, Mark Thomas, and Jake Rogers the top 5. Then it's Harui Tashimi, Austin Ogo, Sean Galligan, Ralph Mason, and Richard Johnson will be the top 10. There you see Jordan Davis up ahead. He is a lap down. He may be actually more than one lap down to the leaders. Don't know for certain, but Danny Wells is going to go out ahead of everybody. Let's see where exactly Jordan Davis is. He is 2 laps down to the leader now. 2 drivers out of the race. They are Tryphon Reed and Charles Jackson. So a tough break for Tryphon, who came in 9th in points. This may take him completely out of the picture for the championship. We also know Joseph Bryant got a piece of an incident there. And now Danny Wells and John McNamara and everybody's coming down pit road again. And Mark Thomas is going to inherit the lead. So maybe Danny Wells and McNamara and all those guys who are up inside the top 5 may have only gone with 2 tire stops. And now we're having to short pit in order to make it the rest of the way. So Mark Thomas, Austin Ogo, Sean Galligan, they may have gone with 4 tire stops, and that's what's allowed them to be able to stay out. Then it's a long ways back to 4th place, which I think is Harui Tashimi. Nope, now it's Justin Williams. Cole Daly right behind with Jake Baskinger. Wow, I wasn't expecting that. Now we got ourselves a 3-car breakaway. Mark Thomas, and then 2 chasers, Galligan and Austin Ogo. Ogo, as we mentioned, a total of 100 points coming into today's race behind points leader Ralph Mason. Sean Galligan in much better stead, 4th in points, a total of 31 points back. And Mark Thomas, our winner from Kansas, out in front looking for his 2nd win of the season in that 66 car. As they're going to get single file again, here comes the 2nd pack of cars, led now by Cole Daly, who's about to get a challenge from Jake Baskinger. There's Michael Norman, Silver Fox in the mix there. And we know that Trent Dunham decided to stay out, but he has lost quite a few positions, all the way back now in 27th. You got to bet that the damage he sustained after that spin out is playing something into that. Let's find the points leader. Where is Ralph running? Is that him right there? Nope, that's Wolfgang. I don't see Ralph Mason. Where did he go? There he is. Oh, I think he was one of those drivers who had to pit, along with McNamara, Danny Wells, Jake Rogers. Also back here are Lily Erickson and Richard Johnson. They must have had to pit. There's Vidaravu and Danny Wells. Yeah, these guys you see right here all had to pit there when we went to green. And they're paying the price for it now. They are, I believe, still on the tail end of the lead lap. Nope, actually they are listed a lap down. So they've got to hope and pray they can make it the rest of the way, and that these guys are going to have to pit one more time. Otherwise, they may be taken out of the picture for the win today. And that could really play out big time, not in the favor of Ralph Mason, who was one of those drivers who is currently caught a lap down, who had to pit when we went back to green flag racing on lap 17. Mark Thomas, Austin Ogo, Sean Galligan, that's the top 3. And they're keeping a pretty sizable gap between themselves and the current 4th place car of Jake Baskinger. And there's the guy who could benefit today, Eric Burton. He's currently running in the 8th position. I'm pretty sure he's running better than that now. Yep, 6th place is where he's currently listed now. Remember, he was only a total of 13 points back from Ralph Mason in the standings, and we know that Ralph Mason's caught a lap down, so if Eric Burton's able to stay where he is, we could see a new points leader atop the Mobil1 Cup Series chase standings. Mark Thomas still the leader. Ogo and Galligan seem content to battle amongst themselves for 2nd place at this point, as Mark Thomas has not really received any kind of a challenge from the 64 or the 18, but that could all change. They got slower cars up ahead that they may have to encounter before this race is over. And it also is looking like that gap between 3rd place Austin Ogo and Jake Baskinger is closing. As a matter of fact, they're making pit stops. Mark Thomas is on pit road, and Austin Ogo is coming as well. That's going to leave Sean Galligan out there for the lead. And the caution is out. Caution is waving. What a big break for Sean Galligan. He's going to be the leader with the caution flag flying here at Atlanta. There you go. Pace car comes out. Going to pick up the field with only a total of 8 laps to go. 7 when they hit the line. Sean Galligan is going to be the leader under the yellow flag. And this could be big time timing as far as the caution coming out for these drivers. They are now going to come down, make their pit stops under the yellow, with Galligan as the leader, but a few drivers are going to stay out. Zach Buchanan, James McLeod, they're rolling the dice. They're going to stay out and try and, I don't know, maybe make it to the end. Waidos Avotas, Wolfgang Mason, Barney Ward, Leah Walker, they are also staying out. There's Danny Wells, Rohit Vidar, but we know they have to stay out because they are not on the lead lap. Let's jump back to Sean Galligan. Looks like he's already completed his service, but Dylan Young's going to beat him out there in the 6th. He had a much faster pit stop. And it looks like it will be Dylan Young first off pit road. Silver Fox looks to beat Galligan off for second. He does. Galligan going to be third. 4th place Lawler. 5th Luke Martin. And then it's Michael Norman. But this changes everything, as the current leader is Zach Buchanan in the 7 with only a handful of laps to go. Let's find out what put us under our second caution of the day. Well, here's a look at it. Not exactly sure what happened here. 2 different drivers, 2 different lines, and somehow they intersected here. Tashimi, I think Tashimi actually was trying to get to pit road, and I don't think she knew Justin Williams was coming underneath her. She looked like she was trying to head for the apron. And Justin Williams and Tashimi going to go up and get the outside retaining wall. Now watch on the right side of your screen. The 40 of Nicole Williams right there. She's going to get hit from behind by Leah Walker. Leah then going to go up into Kyle Sosnowski. And Sosnowski, another chaser, 3rd in points, is going to go up and get the outside retaining wall. Slide down right in front of Henley, I think. And I think Henley does get a piece of him. Oh, man, if he doesn't, it was awfully, awfully close. He was right there alongside the rear deck lid of that 34, but that's what put us under the caution. Oh, and then we had more caution up here. Oh, this is why Henley got his damage. Okay, let's see if we can find out what exactly happened here. This was up ahead of these guys. Oh, there you go, Nicole Williams. Remember we saw her get out of shape after contact from Jacob Lawler? Apparently this is what caught... Oh, yeah, she came down off the nose of Chris Kyle after her contact with Leah Walker. I meant to say Leah Walker, not Jacob Lawler, my bad. And then Leah's car is going to, or make that Nicole's car is going to snap around, nearly clip Leah Walker again. Look at Riley Ogle. There's absolutely nowhere for the 77 to go. He's going to come down right in front of Trent Dunham, who somehow squeezes through, but then Sean Henley's not as lucky. Right in the driver's side door of the Riley Ogle machine. So that wreck started in turn 3, ended out of the exit of turn number 4, and quite a few drivers involved in this. Many of them who had not had any damage whatsoever, including Riley Ogle and Nicole Williams. That's a total of 2 chasers involved in that incident as well. Kyle Sosnowski came in 3rd in points, Nicole Williams 10th in points. That puts us under the caution. Let's see what we're going to have to finish out today's event, as Zach Buchanan is our current leader. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. It'll be a single file restart for our final 4-lap shootout to decide today's race. If the caution comes out at any point during that, they will race it back to the line. The race will be over under caution. But keep in mind, a number of these drivers decided to stay out in order to get track position for this final 4-lap segment. Zach Buchanan is one of them. He's the leader. James McLeod is in 2nd. Waidos Avotas now in 3rd. 4th, Wolfgang Mason with Barney Ward in 5th. 6th place is Leah Walker. 7th place is going to be, behind all these lap cars, Dylan Young, who was the first one to come off pit road. So the fresher tired drivers are going to have to get their way up here to the front ASAP, getting by all these lap cars. James Silverfox is in 8th, 9th Sean Galligan, and 10th is Jacob Lawler. Then it's Mark Thomas in 11th. 12th place is going to be Luke Martin. 13th Austin Ogo. 14th Michael Norman. 15th Cole Daly. 16th James Quall. 17th Eric Burton. Dylan Poteet is in 8th. 9th is Jeffrey Finguy, and Jake Baskinger runs in 20th. So we're going to be keeping our eyes especially on Dylan Young and that 6 car. We know he was the first one to come off of pit road. Can these other guys, though, these other 6, I believe it's 6 and maybe 7, be able to stay out and milk it around in these final few laps? Green flag is out. Here we go. Let's hope we don't have a finish like we did at Daytona with cars dropping like flies here in the final few stages. Looks like they all got through the gears pretty well. Buchanan, McLeod, they're going to pull away from 3rd place, Waidos Avotas. Right behind him, Wolfgang Mason, and behind him, Barney Ward. Looking through the list here, it looks like every one of those drivers, with the exception of White Votas, has been to victory lane. But wait a minute, they're coming down and pitting, and who's going to stay out? It's going to be Danny Wells in the 54. But he's a lap down. So who is the actual leader? We're trying to find the battle for the lead. And there it is, Luke Martin, Jacob Lawler, they're down the inside line. There is James Qualls, I believe he is still on the lead lap. Michael Norman in the picture there now with James Silverfox as they're going to go 3 wide here, and Lawler's going to have to pit. Lawler, Qualls, they're coming down pit road now. So now who's the leader? It's Luke Martin in the 99. Silverfox moves into second. Battle on for third. That's between Mark Thomas, I believe, Eric Burton's, Baskinger, Galligan. Dylan Young's out of fuel. Dylan Young, I believe, is out of fuel. He is slowing in turn 2. Either that or he really had to bail out of the throttle. But we are still green flag racing as Luke Martin now is caught up with more cars. Jake Rogers peels off to make a pit stop. So now that's one car that Luke Martin doesn't have to worry about. White flag in the air. Can James Silverfox close in on him and pick up the win, or can Luke Martin stay behind these lap cars and still keep the victory? Here he goes, 3 wide with Lily Erickson and Richard Johnson. That may have sealed the deal if he can clear him in turn 3. Luke Martin, last win came at Daytona in Season 4 driving the 10. Today, out at turn 4 for the final time. Luke Martin and pit strategy gets him the win. Luke Martin wins the A&W 400 at Atlanta. What an incredible job by that team. Luke Martin 30th in points. What a great win for them today. And man, oh man, did he have that perfect. That played out perfectly in his favor there, the way he was able to maneuver through the lap traffic. And Luke Martin's going to pick up his first victory in the Mobil1 Cup Series in Season 5, his second Mobil1 Cup Series win of his career. And that just went completely chaotic at the end, but Luke Martin, I don't think he ever let off the throttle. Apparently he knew he had the fuel to get him to the end, and he never ever looked back. As always, going to show you the official top 10 results. Eric Burton is going to be the new points leader with a runner-up finish here today at Atlanta. So for the first time, I believe, third time this season in the chase, we've got a new points leader. Jake Baskinger, great run for him in third. Adam Chambers, we didn't talk about him hardly at all at the end of the race. He's going to finish in 4th, and Sean Galligan's going to get 5th with James Silverfox in 6th. So Chambers, Galligan, Silverfox, they're going to reap benefits big time in the point standings as they came in 4th, 5th, and 7th in the standings. Mark Thomas, what a great run for him in 7th. 8th place, Cole Daly. Dylan Young, I guess he just ended up bailing out of the throttle there to let everybody on by so they didn't wreck. He'll still salvage a top 10 in 9th. And Chris Kyle, don't forget Chris Kyle ended up being the one who got into the back of Nicole Williams, turned her around for our final caution of the day. He somehow is going to come away with a 10th place finish. So we know that Eric Burton is going to be the new points leader atop the chase standings. Let's take a look and see where the rest of the chasers finished. Austin Ogo going to finish in 11th. How about Trent Dunham? What a salvage he had there. A great recovery in 12th after he got spun out with contact from Drew Austin. Very good finish for him. Kyle Sosnowski, he ended up spinning out with Justin Williams, and he's going to finish in 15th place. Nicole Williams spun out. Don't forget that. She got 16th. Joseph Bryant got spun out in the front straightaway. He's going to get 17th, and the car that actually he spun into, Drew Austin, finishing in 18th place. That's incredible there. My goodness. The rest of the chasers, Ralph Mason, the points leader coming into today's race, will not be the points leader leaving. He finishes a lap down in 24th. Whitos of Otas had a great qualifying position today, but that pit strategy did not work out for him. He's going to finish a lap down in 28th. Looking further down, we find, I don't think we have any other chasers down here, do we? Oh, yeah, only one chaser that actually DNF'd, and that was Tryphon Reed, who finished in the 41st position. Wow, this race certainly took an unexpected turn, and I think that the point standings are going to take an unexpected turn too, as we had a lot of drivers that looked like they were going to have bad days. They had good days. Drivers looked like they were going to have good days. They had bad days. Certainly an unpredictable race, to say the least, as Eric Burton will be the new points leader heading into next week's race. Next week we head to the road course of Lime Rock, It's going to be our final road course race of the season. Hope you'll tune in for that. We still got a Snickers Cup Series race coming your way, though. Hope you'll tune in for that. And we will see you guys next time here. Here comes your official finisher results, overall point standings, rookie point standings, and your chase points heading into next week. Please leave this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the crew today. And we'll see you guys next time on the NNSCRA Sports Channel. Offline racing at its best.